Your team plays on Friday night, Bob.
Yep.
The Cougs are in town.
Yeah, we're going to play Cougs 3 times this year.
You got 3 Cougs on your schedule.
Yes, we do.
Are we missing any Cougs? Are there any other Cougs on there that we're not aware of?
Is Lafayette a Cougar?
What's the Lafayette mascot?
I don't know.
We got to look up the Lafayette mascot. By the way, one quick Beaver note, their game against Appalachian State kick time got announced. It will be on ESPN Plus. It's an ESPN Plus game.
What time's the kick?
I think it's 12:30 local time. Let me double check that. Our buddy Ryan Clark at the Oregonian.
Can't wait to watch an ESPN Plus football game. That's stellar.
Can you go back and watch an ESPN Plus game after it's happened?
I think they
keep it up there.
Put
for
them up in a
24 hours.
library for a short period of time. You can't go back like indefinitely, but
okay,
probably,
but like later that day.
Like if you went back later the day or Sunday or something, you could.
Yeah, it's a 12:30 kick on ESPN Plus Saturday, October 4th. That's their next game. It's on the road at Appalachian State.
Anybody else looked at that back in the schedule because fans have told themselves that they're great and they can still be a 7-win team or better, and like reevaluated how they feel about some of those teams? Like Tulsa just won at Oklahoma State. Wake Forest was holding a lead against NC State.
Wake Forest has not been a dumpster this year. Like, they've been somewhat competitive.
Washington State just showed me they can score on a Husky defense, so that definitely means they can score on an Oregon State defense.
And maybe have found a quarterback. And last time we saw Houston, they lit up Colorado at home.
And App State might be playing for Sean Clark. I have no idea if App State is any good. R.I.P. Sean Clark.
Yeah.
But my point is, like, I don't look at that schedule now and go, oh, those are wins, the way that we might have done that preseason.
Yeah. Well, your coach talked yesterday about the game on Friday night, and he echoed the sentiment from the postgame Saturday saying, hey, we can do more of that.
I've kind of said it. They've been great as far as the way they come out to work, the way they show up to meetings. There's no one's, pouting or hanging their head or anything like that. So I feel good about the work they're doing. Just we understand, we've done some things self-destruction-wise that have led to our situation. So we're part of that. We got to fix that, continue to improve in that, and then really build off, that first half of Oregon. I said it after the game, but you're right there with that team. That's one of the top teams in the country. That's what we're capable of doing, and we got to do it for 4 quarters.
That's what they're capable of being. They just got to bottle that up and do it for 4 quarters on Friday night.
Because they turned Oregon over on downs and had a punt in back-to-back Oregon possessions.
They did, yeah.
I just want to note for the record, after they scored the touchdown in the first quarter to tie it at 7, their second quarter was 28 total yards of offense.
Yeah.
Oregon went into the half up 2 scores.
They had 3 first downs the rest of the game.
The idea, again, and I said this yesterday, so I don't want to stick on it, but the idea that you had an entire first half to point to is laughably an egregious lie. You had 1.1 quarters of football you could point to, if that.
The reason that it was interesting to me that he said that, and I, look, what's
2 yards in your very first possession.
Yeah, they went 3 and out right out of the gate, and then no other offensive drives really made any noise the rest of the game outside of the one scoring drive that they had.
So you're sorry, not to interrupt you. In your 4 of your 5 possessions, you had 30 total yards.
Yes,
in the first half.
Yeah,
but that's who you can be.
That's who they can be.
Yeah.
It also it kind of rung hollow, and look, what do you want Trent Bray to say at this point? We suck. Our season's over. We're not going to win a game. Like, he's got to try and find things and ways to be positive. But in the same press conference, he had a line where he basically was asked, what does a good Friday night look for you? And I didn't pull it because it wasn't a very long answer, but he was at, what does a successful Friday night look like? And he said, well, winning is the only thing that matters. We're not into moral victories. And that was on the heels of this comment where he's saying, that first half and the way that we moved it. And it's like you're kind of talking out of both sides of your mouth at this point. On the note of pressure for Friday, I'm not quite sure what the crowd's going to look like. It is a weeknight game. It's a 7:30 kick on a Friday night. So it's not like it's a Friday late evening game that kicks at 5. It's a late one on Friday night. Here he is asked about the pressure to get a win on Friday night at home.
I mean, getting a win is pivotal regardless, yeah. I mean, a short week, bounce back. I mean, there's some positives to that too. You're not sitting around for a whole nother day thinking about what just happened at Oregon. So you can move on to the next opponent. But it's going to be important that we come out and rebound and play well.
I mean, I can't speak to it. I've never been a football coach, especially at that level. I've never played college football. What I would say, too, is maybe he's right, but their problem isn't about dwelling. It's about executing.
Yeah.
So you can dwell on something for an extra day or not dwell on it for the extra day. can you execute? And right now, the offense cannot execute. It's one of the 5 worst offenses in the FBS. And I'm just not somebody who is going to like the defense has had moments here and there throughout the season in different games. I also saw the defense against Texas Tech, and it looked like a unit that didn't try. So
yeah, and a lot of those long down and distance situations.
I don't know. I watched his press conference. I watched Lanning's press conference. Lanning's giving us nothing this week. It's going to be short answers and on to Penn State.
Yeah.
Let his guys do the talking for him is where he's at.
He's in game mode.
And Bray's never really been great with the media. It's not one of his specialties. He coaches defense, and you can hear it. And so, like, his answers, I don't need you to lie to me because you say, and I think it's fair to say this, like, what do you want to say? I think you can say things without needing to lie. We all have eyeballs. We all watched the first half. I thought if you had a rational takeaway, it should have been they're down 2 scores against the team sleepwalking, and you have 30 yards of offense sans 1 drive.
Yeah.
Not great, Bob. How you respond against Houston? Maybe Houston has a look-ahead line because they got Texas Tech next week.
They'll jump up and get somebody at some point. Remember, we gave up on them last year when they got shut out by Air Force, and then they somehow beat the Cougs at the end of the year. And it wasn't like the Cougs were a great team, but they won that game, and nobody gave them a chance to do it.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to go winless.
Right.
I do expect them to get a win or a few, but I don't share the optimism or there's things to point to and highlight going in. Are you going to show up and execute and play well at home? You're a 12-plus point underdog at home.
They started the year as a favorite against Cal in their first game of the season.
They were favorites in their first 2 games, Fresno State at home and Cal at home. They lost both outright. So I don't really care about the favorite underdog thing. Are you just going to show up and execute and show some semblance of something? Because right now you don't have a whole lot to point to.
Their rushing offense right now at this point in the season is 133rd in the country, averaging 70 yards per game. The only 3 teams worse than them, Middle Tennessee State is 134th. The Cougs, 135th. The Cougs do have a worse rushing offense than you. And then New Mexico State is dead last.
They don't run the ball at Washington State.
No, they don't really try to. They try and sling it around. Their quarterback can run it a little bit. I also just had the thought, and I'm going to get to some other audio from a rivalry game this weekend and a coach making an apology that I'm wondering, was it necessary? Did we like that he apologized?
You want to know how bad things are at Clemson?
Yeah.
Oregon State's passing offense is better than Clemson's.
Yeesh. That tells you all you need to know about how ugly things are. And they just had a game where their starting quarterback was like 4 of 18 going into the fourth quarter, whatever Malik Murphy was. I'll reiterate something that I said a week or 2 ago. I wanted to pull the entirety of it, but it was almost too long, and it was hard to figure out where to snip it. But Jimmy Rogers, the head coach at Washington State, had a very long answer yesterday at his press conference about what Saturday night meant to them and the environment in the stands and how much his team loved the atmosphere and running onto the field. And I think you can make an argument. Now, part of it's just the rivalry game. Maybe part of it was Washington looking ahead. The Cougs, I think, played their best game of the year, and that's as a team who won a game earlier. But that was unquestionably the stiffest competition that they have faced, and they hung around in that game for 3 quarters, made some explosive plays on offense. Like, they were flying around. And so his whole talking point was like, man, this is what I envisioned the atmosphere in the stadium looking like when I took over the job. This is a huge deal when we have recruits come to town, when our players are trying to get amped up. It is so much easier to sell the vision to kids you're trying to convince to commit and your players to play with their hair on fire when they run onto the field for warm-ups and the stadium's full and there's juice in the building. And he said he hopes that they can continue that. But he also said, I understand that our play is going to lead to people wanting to or not wanting to come. That it's a total, like, I'm not criticizing anybody who doesn't want to go. It's a 7:30 on a Friday night. This is more of a criticism for me of, and if anybody has numbers on it, I'd love to have them, like how the universities are not doing more in terms of the athletic department strategizing. How do we get more people in here? How do we come up with ticket? Like, can we give away tickets? Do we give away dollar tickets?
That's
if you're
not gonna happen.
Why not? Why can it not happen? Like, how many people are going to be there on Friday night?
I don't know, but you've heard what they've said publicly. I mean, I pointed this out yesterday. Go find the Texas Tech post-game video press conference of Trent Bray, Dirt. Look it up.
You can't find it.
It's 2025.
You can't find it. It doesn't exist.
How does New Mexico and Jason Eck have a cell phone video exist post-game? And Oregon State doesn't even care. I don't even know if they put up one from the Oregon game.
They did not. I have not found it.
And Oregon at least houses you with actual, facilities to do a post-game press conference. And you had your background and a microphone. It's 2025.
Yep.
I don't care how bad it is. You've got to have video. It's It's how people watch stuff.
It's my larger point of like Arizona State, and I used this analogy a couple weeks ago. Like they did a thing in their opening game of the year against Northern Arizona. They gave every season ticket holder 4 free tickets to give away. 4. Just here you go. You can do, like, there are things that you can do to entice people to come to games because right now the play on the field is not doing it. And it's one of the biggest fears that I have for both of them is that what Washington State had this weekend, it looked like a great atmosphere in Pullman. Is that going to happen the rest of the season? Probably not.
I would hope, actually. I would hope that the performance and the effort lends itself to fans
people
saying, hey, how about that? Maybe we're going to be a 7-8 win team this year.
I would love to see that. I'm not buying it because there weren't a lot of people at their first couple of games, but maybe you're right that that's going to entice people to come. To me, it's the next domino that falls of how much money are you losing in terms of lack of people going. And this is a Friday game at 7:30. If you got kids in high school who are playing high school football, you're certainly not going to be going to the game.
No.
If you can't get the day off work or can't get out of work early or you work till 6, do you want to drive down to Corvallis at 6 o'clock and maybe get there at the end of the first quarter? It's not an easy thing to pull off for everybody. And so this would be the thing that I would be screaming about most, and I know that you are because of the video stuff, and just it makes you look like an amateur operation.
Their whole operation is amateur.
Of just doing anything and everything that you can to get people in your stadium because it's one of the biggest things that will sell recruits, it will get your players juiced. There was a quote from Trent Walker a week or two ago where he talked about the Fresno State game and how depressing it was running onto the field in front of a quarter-full stadium.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, man, I played here in sellouts when this crowd, we bragged about having Caleb Williams in a blender with half of a stadium.
I was at
3 years ago.
Coincidentally, UW's win Saturday was their first road win since I went to the UW Oregon State game.
In the rainstorm.
With a Husky fan pissing on the concourse.
Yes, where they hiked the ball over the punter's head, or else they would have beat the Huskies that year.
That place was
This is a great atmosphere.
packed,
It can be a great
and it was
atmosphere.
electric.
And again, I'm not blaming fans for saying, why would I spend money on a ticket to go watch this team play? I don't blame anybody for that. This is where it's more of like, there's got to be somebody in that athletic department doing something to get butts in the seats.
It's very funny. There are seats in certain sections of the upper bowl that can go for $100 each, and there's also, I'm looking at end zone section tickets right now, $13.
Yeah. I do it like a Twitter giveaway. First 10,000 people that like this tweet get a free ticket to the game.
I mean,
just anything
you're
you
literally in this ticket, you're like 9 rows up from the back of an end zone, and your ticket is $13.
Yeah, so you can get in for cheap.
Don't know if you can go much cheaper than that.
Free's cheaper than $13.
You're not wrong, but yeah, I don't know, man. I certainly understand.
It's my big fear
everything.
for Friday because I think the fan apathy is definitely there. The outspoken people on social media are one thing.
What channel is this game on again?
It's an ESPN game.
ESPN, that's right.
And it's a 7:30 kick.
Yeah.
What's the over/under on the attendance?
It's a 36,000 seat stadium, I think, roughly.
Do they get 20K in there on Friday night?
I'm guessing it'll be mostly
0-4,
students
man.
to
And it's
start
a Friday.
schools
Will the
back
student
in.
section be filled?
Yeah, I think it will be.
To start. Now,
they're
they might bail at halftime, but
they're teaching the new students, how to do the OSU chants.
I hope that they go. Every student, I get pissed when Oregon student section isn't full. It wasn't full at the start of the game on Saturday. Get your ass in the seats.
They were 0-1 and they had a quarter of the stadium. So
That's
what's
what I'm saying.
0-4? But what's 0-4?
And I know the
on
students
Friday
weren't
night?
there, but still, that's yeah.
Because for a lot of people, especially if you like to have a couple beverages, we're all of a certain age.
Yeah.
That getting home at 1 a.m., it'll wreck your Saturday. Like, you'll be Saturday, be like 10 a.m., be like, oh, my God.
You'd be a little groggy.
I need to wake up.
It's a
I need
late
to
game.
get going. Like, yeah, there's people to take that into account as well. I don't know if there'll be that many.